The much-anticipated inaugural championship week of the Sharks Billiards Association will kick off on December 16 in Quezon City. And to talk about that, we have SBA founder Hadley Mariano and Managing Director George Ho. Gentlemen, welcome to Afternoon Delight.
Hello.
Hi,
Thank you for having us. Hello.
Okay, so we're about less than 2 weeks away from the championship game.
Yeah.
Tell us all about it. How many teams are going to be there? And one thing that's people are always wondering about is it free?
Yeah, of course it's free. So the season started with 4 teams, but of course during our finals week it's only going to be 2 teams remaining. So we're very excited for the finals because of course the whole season was made for this. It's the culmination of our inaugural season, so we're very, very much excited for the finals.
And these are great times for pool fans. No?
Yeah, of course.
Just a couple of weeks back, there was a Reyes Cup. But
Yeah.
I'm really surprised to learn that this is the only billiards association
Yeah, it's
in the Philippines.
it's the only billiards league in the
Yeah.
Philippines. It's the first one.
Wow. Considering there's, like, it's a part of the culture,
Yeah.
but there's no professional billiards league.
Actually, billiards is usually played in a tournament.
That's right.
Even in other countries. So we just thought that here in the Philippines, since we have a large number of players, good players, why not make a league out of these professional players? That way we could give them salaries, jobs, work. So yeah.
What's been the highlight so far during the first season?
For me personally, I think it's the fan interaction that we have, right? So if you watch pool normally, it's normally played in a very quiet environment. It's almost like a library, right? You can't make any noises, and even the players themselves don't actually show a lot of emotion, right? What's made me really happy about this first season is that you actually see a lot of emotion coming from the players. They're jumping for joy. They're high-fiving the audience members.
Not just the players, the fans.
Yeah, the fans too, and also the dedication and the emotional investment that our team owners have put into the league. We thought they would just pay the players and just watch, but they're actually really invested. They're actually providing a lot of other benefits other than just salary.
Oh, nice.
Right? They're actually treating the players as their own family.
Is it going to
that's
progress
really
to
great to
trash
see.
talking? Are you going to allow trash talking soon?
Okay, so here's
That's
the
the
thing.
emotion.
Here's the big thing, right?
Okay.
I think one thing that we wanted to do to kind of separate, or kind of like what differentiates us from other pool organizations or pool tournaments is that not only is it a team, there's a team aspect to it, but we want to allow sharking. But there's been a misinterpretation of what sharking means, right? Most people equate sharking to just trash talking, and that's not what we're doing, right? What we're doing is sharking does involve trash talking, but it's also fan interaction, player interaction, cheering, and it's something that's new to the sport, right? And so, because of that, you get people who support it, and you have detractors as well, right? Because people are opposed to change.
Yeah.
But if you look at what other leagues have done historically, like let's say over the past 20 years, right? If you look at other leagues, the NBA instituted the 3-second rule, right? In cricket, it went from a 5-day event to the T20s, which is now dominated by IPL in India. Baseball recently instituted a pitch clock, right? The NFL just this year started a new kickoff punt return rule. So these are all
The
things.
PBA has a 4-point line.
Exactly.
Yes, right? And there's a lot of examples of how leagues have changed. Live Golf, that's probably the biggest example of an organization that's disrupting an existing sport of PGA. So the reception of that is, there have been pros and cons, right? But why do the leagues do these things? They do it because they want to make the league and the game more exciting, and they want to get more
And
fans.
it's the evolution of the sport.
It is an
yeah.
evolution,
Yeah.
right? People in general are opposed to change, but after a while, we hope that they'll get used to this new concept, right? And it's a way for us to help grow the sport as well. A lot of people, the biggest complaint I hear about pool from casual fans is that they think it's boring,
Oh, yeah.
right?
So there's an acceptable level of rowdiness allowed in the games.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And It's the first season, so I mean, obviously there's it's a learning curve, right? There have been growing pains, but we're going to be adjusting as the league goes on. Yeah.
I'm sure the fans are enjoying this, though. What has been the feedback on social media and from the fans themselves? Because I'm sure you get to talk to them as well, too.
It's actually divided. Again, we have what we call purists. Yeah. So
The
of
purists
course-
are who insist on bow ties and
no,
Yeah,
no.
like a
They-
yeah.
you order a beer from them.
No, they insist on maintaining the silence during the game.
But what about those who really cheer their hearts out? What do they say about it?
So
course
I don't
they
read
enjoy it.
Tagalog, but I go through the comments, and there's one. I'll give you a perfect example. We had a guy, Drashir. He plays on the Manila team. He was our games are races to 13, right? He was on 12 wins, golden break. A golden break means the 9 ball goes in on the break, so he wins. He starts jumping up and down. The crowd goes wild, and the first comment we see, someone said, "I never knew pool could be so exciting."
Oh, wow.
That's exactly the reaction we want, because we want to bring the diehard fans are always going to watch,
Yeah.
right? But what we want to do is we want to grow the sport, and
More
everyone,
fans.
yeah, and everyone knows the Philippines has the deepest pool of talent. Everyone outside the Philippines who plays pool knows that the Philippines has the best pool of talent
Yeah.
for pool. So this is the natural home
Yeah.
for a league.
Speaking of home, if you build it, they will come. So
Yes.
it's important that you have a home.
Yeah.
And it's in Quezon City.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
the Great White Arena.
Yeah.
Are there drinks being served during the game?
Of course.
That's the most important
Yeah,
question.
But players cannot drink during the game.
Oh,
It's part of our
It's
ops
okay, you're not
manual.
going to play.
It's part of our manual. The players cannot be intoxicated, but of course, all the fans, you can drink as much as you
Yeah.
want.
This is a silly question, but has the style of playing evolved since, let's say, the time of Bata Reyes
Yeah.
a couple of decades ago?
Yeah.
How different is it?
It's pretty different. Number one, of course, the equipment.
Yes.
It improved.
It's an $800 piece.
You hesitated a little
I
bit.
resist the urge.
The table improved. There are additional rules in the sport. But of course, we, as SBA, we wanted to put in our own rules as well. Like, there's this one rule that was added recently. Not recently, but it actually changed the sport a lot. They added what we call the jump cue, or the jump shot. This is where they're allowed to jump the cue ball over another ball in order to hit the object ball. So with SBA,
That's so easy to do, right?
yeah, it's actually it takes away a bit of creativity in the sport, because as we all know, Efren Bata was known as the magician, is known as the magician because of fancy kick shots.
Yeah.
Cue ball would go around the table and hit the object ball, and the object ball would go in. So we would see less of these shots now because of the jump cue. So in SBA, we actually prohibited the jump cue in order for us to go back to the era of Efren Bata, where we could see these amazing magical shots.
It celebrates the artistry of Filipino
Yeah.
pool, which is what a lot of Filipino players
And
are.
it's what made the sport famous here in the Philippines, and it's what differentiated Efren Bata from other pool players during his time.
Now, aside from implementing certain rules and, of
Yeah.
course, allowing fans to have more interaction with the players, what are the steps that you're taking? First off, before that, what do you make of the growth of the sport in the Philippines, and what are the other steps that you're making to see that growth get bigger and bigger?
And how much is an order of beer?
And how much is an order of beer?
For you, it's free. For you, it's free.
Okay, I'll tag along.
Do you want to
You
answer
take the
that?
first half. I'll take the second.
Okay. So basically, here in Philippines, it's the sport has been here. It's the fans have been here. I think billiards is a sleeping giant, right? So it's just a matter of trying to wake it up. So once it's awake, I think it's really gonna grow very, very big, because our players here in the Philippines, the quality of players, they can beat world number ones. They can beat other countries. We can actually be the best again in the sport. So I think there's really big potential.
What's the typical billiard audience in the typical billiard enthusiast? Because once upon a time, billiards used to be associated with a fugitive sort of reputation.
Yeah.
You say billiards, you probably think
Hustlers.
of hustlers or students cutting classes to be at the pool area or the pool center.
And we don't advocate that. We don't
Yeah.
advocate that.
But has it evolved? Does it still have that fugitive sort of association reputation?
Sadly, because billiards is not offered in school, like as a varsity sport or in PE. So if I see, let's say, Efren Bata on TV, and I say, I want to be like Efren, well, how do I do it? So as a kid, I would hang out in pool halls. So pool halls are in bars.
Or break your teeth.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, so the stigma is always there. It's still there. But if you look at it, if only the schools would, have a varsity sport, billiards, then kids wouldn't have to spend their time in bars. They
It
would
would take over the world.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But also, sorry, go ahead.
Go.
I wanted to answer the second part of your question, which was, what are we doing for the future, right? So, obviously, with SBA, we are trying to professionalize the sport. We're giving players an opportunity to see it as a legitimate career path. And the best way for us to do that is to actually grow the league, right? I'll give you an example. So when we had our player draft in August, there were over 100 players who participated, but we could only draft 20, right? Now, how many players in the Philippines are there? There's tons, right? There's way more than 100 who are at this level, or high-level players, or with players with a lot of potential. So there's a lot of room for us to grow the league in terms of number of teams, right? So this year we have 4 because we want to just prove to everyone that the concept actually works and there's a market for it. Eventually, hopefully by season 2 we'll have additional teams. Season 3, even more. And once you get to that point, it just becomes it's a snowball effect, right? And so then we can just grow the league to, I don't know, 16, 24, 32, who knows, right? But
All right. So all you potential Tom Cruises out there, and this is a cocktail movie reference, and all you Paul Newmans out there. So again, Denise.
Again, thank you for joining us. We wish you luck on the 16th. That's
Thank you
less than
very
2
much.
weeks away. That was SBA founder Hadley Mariano and Managing Director George Shaw. Thank you for joining us.
Congratulations and good luck.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right.